So this is the story of 3 carbon paths, one in the past and 2 possibilities in the future. So first of all, in the past, the last 60 years have seen dramatic improvements in our comfort and convenience. Motorways only arrived in my youth, and I remember cycling along the M4 before it was open to traffic. Similarly, jet planes and foreign holidays only started in the 1960s. Central heating, mostly with gas boilers, started also in the 1960s, and as recently as 2000, it still hadn't reached 10% of homes in the UK. These key technologies have given comfort and convenience, but they only really started 60 years ago, and they've been accelerating since. The use of fossil fuel has followed this, and that's why our carbon footprint has also accelerated in the last 60 years. Over 90% of fossil used by mankind at any time in history has been in the Elizabethan era, and that's why it's the fossil reign. Over half of the carbon use ever has taken place in just the last 30 years. We're using it really fast now. Our lives are unrecognisable to our grandparents. So the comfort and convenience of our normal daily activities have given us a good life, but they've made us fossil addicts. It's already caused 1.2 temperature increase with fires, floods, famine and refugees. The next slide shows that climate modellers use a carbon path for life as normal, which they call SSP 3.7, and that assumes that the use of existing technology carries on growing and more people enjoy our lifestyle. We always think that tomorrow will be the same as today, but we're wrong. As carbon continues to drive the climate, the IPCC details how the world will change. More fires, floods, crop failure, war and economic collapse. We're creating a world our children will not like, and we're failing in our fundamental role to protect them and provide a safe future. Tipping points will make things worse much more quickly, and we have very little time to change. So we're fossil addicts, the oil companies are pushers, and our politicians are pretending it's not real. Politicians aren't warning of the dangers. We're in an Alice in Wonderland world where we think that our normal daily activities are okay. Unfortunately, they're not okay, and SSP 3.7 means we're gifting climate disaster to our children and grandchildren. On this carbon path, we shit on the kids.
Matthew.
There is another path, and it shows carbon halving by 2030 and nearly zero by 2050. This is SSP 1.9. It's the Paris Agreement, and it can give safety to our futures and keep temperatures to 1.5 degrees. But to change carbon, we have to radically change our normal daily activities. The way we get around, live in our homes, produce food and run business are all very different when we're free of fossil fuel. The changes are all possible, but it's hard and expensive. It needs a clear plan, and these plans are in place in some of our neighbouring countries. Without a clear plan, the changes won't happen. We'll not be on this path. Our children will not be safe. For any addict to change, first we have to face up to reality and then make difficult choices. Our politicians aren't being honest about our reality because it's hard and because they're paid to ignore it. They have totally inadequate policies to help transition to freedom from fossil fuel. If we want to give a safe path for our children, we have to help our politicians to get climate.